Hey guys, and Miss Travels here, bringing you an update on the underwater earthquake. It came from Russia, and it's causing tsunami warnings going through the Pacific to Hawaii to Alaska, pretty much.
Yeah, the main earthquake, we have a map for you. If we have it standing by on Max 2, if we can bring it up, it was a magnitude 8.8, kind of fluctuating in intensity between 8.7 and 8.8. But it's, of course, we're talking about the epicenter in the Russia area. And then that energy from that quake producing the tsunami. Now, whenever an earthquake happens, there's always a big unknown. Was a tsunami generated? And it looks like a tsunami has been generated.
And this is pretty much the beginning part of my last video that I just uploaded to you guys.
Tsunami alerts. First of all, we will start off with the tsunami warning, and then that is the worst case scenario. We also have advisories, and then we have watches. So let's explain, Mark, as we go through the stages.
Yeah, so initially, Roberta, we actually had a tsunami watch, and that's saying the key word there should be, I should probably make that word bigger if possible. There's a big question mark, we don't know. And what happens after a main event with an earthquake that could generate a tsunami, they have to analyze to see the sea floor. There's actually specialized buoys called dart buoys that measure the pressure of the water right at the surface, well below the water at the sea surface there, and that can help detect the tsunami. So at first they're saying, okay, possibly tsunami was generated, be on the watch. And now they're saying a tsunami was generated that could impact parts of the West Coast. Some areas a bit more, severe in terms of intensity, especially out toward Hawaii. For us, I will say in the map, say 15, 30 minutes, that a watch has been changed over to an advisory for us. So thankfully, if you want to look at it in good news, it's not a warning for us, meaning we could have huge, big-time problems, but still an advisory could lead to some dangerous currents out there, and that's in place right now, that tsunami advisory.
Yes, and the last time we've had anything like this was back on December 5th when we had the tsunami warning, and that's because we were closer to the epicenter of the earthquake. And now we're looking at this, since we do have an advisory in place, any time between about 12:15 and 12:40 overnight tonight in the San Francisco area, along the coast, into the bay, and also San Pablo Bay. What can we see, Mark?
Well, you can see these possible tsunami start times. So at least locally, since we've changed over to an advisory, that means some strong currents out there. Or maybe just the ocean has a different feel to it, different behavior. And so just the key is just to be aware of that, and also just stay away from the ocean. Just know that there's a lot of energy moving toward our coastline. Once again, it's not a tsunami warning, but still there could be some activity that's at least that energy is approaching our coastline.
So that is something in which we need heads up. But then again, we go to the tsunami warning, and where you see that red highlighted area, that's Aleutian Islands, Alaska, and then now we're talking about Hawaii. Mark, your sister lives in Hawaii.
She lives in Hawaii, and she's been texting me and sending photos. There's already instant long lines for gas. So she's on the North Shore of Kauai, and people are just they take these warnings seriously, and the fact that they have a tsunami warning in place right now with the estimated arrival time of the first tsunami activity just in about 3 hours from now, they are on high alert. So that's why they have the warning in place. And they've been through this before. It's happened before. And a lot of times a warning can be issued and nothing happens. But every time it happens, they have to take it seriously.
Well, both you and I did work 2013 when the tsunami did happen, and it devastated Hawaii, portions of it, yeah.
And for us here locally, everybody, the first question we get asked about is how big is this wave? And I wouldn't focus on the height of the wave, but focus, you remember the Santa Cruz Harbor, the harbor of Santa Cruz, that wave was not tremendously huge, but there was a lot of energy with that, and that caused so much damage, and there's just a powerful force. So just know that, especially in Hawaii right now, the other areas under the warning, that could be the key concern over the next few hours.
So stay away from the coast. If you live at the coast, the one message we want to get across is just stay alert. Right now, we're just looking at dangerous currents and dangerous waves. Do not go into the ocean. Don't be a looky-loo and try to go and get on the rocks and look at the ocean and see. It's going to be after midnight anyway. It's going to be dark out there, but we will stay on top of it here.
Yeah, and we're used to talking about, high surf, I've seen high waves. The tsunami is completely different. It's traveling across the ocean, roughly to about in the middle of the ocean, could be 500 miles per hour. and then it slows down. We're not used to that kind of activity, so it's not, it's not something we thankfully we don't see too often here in the Bay Area. But just know it's not just stay away from the coastline. The advisory is out for a reason, right?
And don't panic. We're seeing a lot of people panicking, saying, I need to go to higher ground, I need to go to higher ground.
And I also say, too, just keep these watches and advisories have been changing around so much, so we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, the same thing with the magnitude of the earthquake. We've seen it go anywhere from 8.0 to 8.7 to 8.8, and we know what that's like here in the Bay Area. Our earthquake magnitudes fluctuate quite a bit, and these watches, advisories, and warnings will do so as well.
And I wouldn't focus on the earthquake magnitude. An 8.0 is already that's gonna cause a tremendous amount of damage potentially, or generating a tsunami. So it's already they call it a great quake, anything above an 8.0. So that's just know it exists, and a tsunami has been generated, and they're tracking that energy as it moves from the epicenter toward portions of the west coast.
And I want everyone to know at home, Alex, that you've got the complete weather department, and we are here to keep a watchful eye to make sure that you're safe at home.
Yeah, we appreciate both of you putting this tsunami into some context here, and obviously a good idea for everyone to stay on alert as we move through the evening hours. Mark, Roberta, thank you both. We'll move along here to another big story we are continuing to follow, and that's the aftermath of New York City's mass shooting that happened last night. Tonight we're learning the gunman had ties here in the West. Fox's Kennedy Hayes is in Las Vegas, where the suspect lived.
Detectives are on the ground right now here in Las Vegas because they say they believe Tamura lived here. A car was registered to Nevada, and they say he worked at a hotel nearby here on the Strip. That hotel said in a statement, quote, "We can confirm that Shane Devin Tamura was a surveillance department employee at Horseshoe, Las Vegas. Our thoughts are with the victims, their families, and all those affected by this tragic event. We are cooperating with law enforcement and will not be commenting further." Police say the shooting happened around 6:30 Monday night at this Manhattan office building. Tamura walked in and opened fire, killing 4 people, including an NYPD officer working a paid security deal. Bullets shattered the glass as people ran for cover, and inside Tamura's car, police found a second gun, extra ammo, and prescription medications. Investigators say he had a documented history of mental illness and left behind a note referencing CTE, the brain disease linked to repeated head trauma. He claimed he developed it playing football in high school, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the gunman may have been targeting NFL employees since the building also houses the league's headquarters. But he took the wrong elevator during the attack. And back here in Las Vegas, Tamura has an address attached to him in this gated community near Summerlin. It's unclear how long he lived here, but investigators executed a search warrant at the home and are working to trace where the weapons came from. They'll also visit the gun store where the suspect illegally purchased a revolver back on June 12th. A former NYPD and Henderson, Nevada police officer tells Fox Tamura had a concealed carry permit, raising questions about how he got it given his mental health history.
Specifically, if someone wants to carry concealed, they'll go through a class, they'll pay $200-$300, they go through a background check, and then Las Vegas Metro Police is the main police agency, and they have a firearms section that will run backgrounds and make sure that someone is allowed to actually have that CCW.
Investigators believe parts of that gun were purchased by an associate. Not clear if that associate was working with Tamura, but that is still under investigation. In Las Vegas, Nevada, Kennedy Hayes, Fox News.
And tonight, family members of one of the people killed in that tragedy in New York are speaking out.
He always showed up. Every time anyone needed any help, he was always there. And yeah, we lost him, and he didn't deserve to die that early.
NYPD officer Didarul Islam is being described as a hero by city officials. He was off duty when the shooting happened, but in uniform, working security at that building. Late last night, crowds gathered as a procession moved his body. Well, people who knew the gunman from his high school days in Southern California described him as hardworking. Fox 11's Mario Ramirez spoke with his high school football coach.
The alleged gunman's coach describing him as a quiet but hardworking player, and as we learn more details about his past, it includes a chapter here in the San Fernando Valley.
I'm in shock. I would not have ever, imagined such a thing. Could I have done more? Could I have helped the kid? Could I have reached out to him, or could he have reached out to me? It's just a lot of things I'm trying to process right now.
The shooter, now identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura, played high school football at Granada Hills Charter about a decade ago, part of the 2015 team under head coach Walter Roby.
Just a good kid, just a quiet, kid, always smiled, laughed. But yeah, never anything like this. He came